Here, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to see Python data types. So first one is string. So we'll see what and all can be done with the string. Okay, so let me share my desktop and we'll see. Okay, so here is my Python notebook for data type. So what are this is what we are going to see. So what are Python data types? So we have a string, list, tuple, and dictionary. So first one we are going to see string today. Okay, so in the string we'll see its definition, what are various ways to define the string type, how to check its type, and how to do string concatenation, repetition, indexing. Then we have under indexing, we have forward indexing and positive indexing, or backward or negative indexing. Then we have slicing. So under slicing, we have forward and backward slicing. What are various available methods for the string, which you can apply over any given string data type. Okay, then later we'll see what are various ways for string formatting. Okay, and followed by we'll see all the interview questions, what can be asked in the string data type. Okay, so let's start. First, let's see what is the string data type. So in Python, string is an immutable sequence data type. So guys, remember this is immutable data type. So I'll be talking about mutable and immutable. So remember, immutable data type means the data type which is defined cannot be modified. It can be deleted, but its content cannot be modified. That's what is immutable. Okay. So it is the sequence of Unicode character wrapped in single or double quote or triple quotes. Okay. So let's see what and all ways are there for defining strings. So as I mentioned, it can be defined in a single quote, double quote, or triple quote. So I'll take one variable a equal to, so I'll take single quote, and here I'll define, let's say, this is first string. Okay, this is single quote. Now I'll take b, this is second string. So as I mentioned, it can be in double quote. So opening has to be done with single quote or double quote or triple quote, and closing also has to be done with single, double, or triple quote. Now this is third one. So how to do third triple quote? So two times or three times you can have double quotes, opening, then closing. Okay. Similarly, you can have two times a single quote, three times, opening and closing. So guys, remember this triple quote thing is very important because this will be used as a document string for defining the functions, which I'll be talking in detail how to use it in the function definition. So just remember triple quote will be useful in the doc string. So this is my fourth variable. Okay, one more thing to remember, if you have open and close the string with single quote or double quote, so internally, if you want to use another quote, then it has to be different type, not the single type. So what I mean to say here, I'll take, let's say, so it is opening and closing with single quote, right? So internally, if you want to use single quote, it is not possible. Why? Because the moment you have opened here, and again you are adding here, so means this will be the string, because opening and closing is done. So this bracket is closed. Now you are opening another one. So here it is not balanced, right? Here again you are adding one, but this is not open with the single quote. So this is not allowed. So what you can do, if opening and closing is single quote or double quote, inside you can use different kind of quote. So what I mean to say here, my opening and closing is single quote, I can use double quote inside. This is fine. Similar way you can have opening and closing with double quote, but internally it has to be single quote. Okay, so let's print all. B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, so there's no error. All are possible way of defining the string. So this first, second, third, first, right? So So remember, while opening and closing, whatever character you have used, either single quote, double quote, triple quote, that will not be printed because that is a notation for the string. But internally, if you are using opening and closing for single double quote, that will get printed. That's what you see in the second last and the last one. Okay. So I hope it is clear. So remember, guys, string we can have with starting with single quote, double quote, or triple quote. And as I mentioned, string doesn't mean that it is just alphabet. It can have any kind of character which is enclosed with a single, double, or triple quote. Okay, so let's take one more example here. So a number can also be string. Though it looks number, but it doesn't mean that it is not a string, right? If it is enclosed with the single, double, or triple quote, it will become a string. So I can have, let's say 1, 2, 3, then ABC, then any special character also, right? So that is also a possible string. Okay, so I hope it is clear now. So let's see how to check the string data type. So if you have defined any string, how to check whether it is really a string type or something else. Okay, so let's see another example. A equal to, let's say I am writing pi CSR. Okay, print A. Now, as I mentioned in the previous class, those who have not seen, please see the video. I have talked about how to check the type, but though again, I'm going to mention here also. So we have one type function, and under type, you just mention a data type. So I mean to say variable, whatever you have defined. So type of A, that is nothing but your string. So this particular A variable belongs to string class. Okay, so this is a way to check it. Okay, so if you still have any doubt, feel free to comment in the video. I'll be helping you guys to understand with more example. Okay, so now once you have the string, what and all operation you can perform. So we'll see how to concatenate two string, how you can repeat one single particular string, and how to do indexing. Okay, so first we'll see concatenation. So I'll take one example here. A equal to hello, give some space, B equal to world. Now I want to concatenate both. Concatenation means adding two strings. Like we have addition in the mathematical operation, right? Here in the string, we use concatenation. So concatenation can be done using plus operator. So guys, remember in Python, whenever you are using addition, subtraction, both end has to be of the same type. If you're using plus for integer, so other part also should be a mathematical number, right? It should be integer or float. If you're adding one string plus one integer, that is not possible. Both has to be same data type. So here A and B both are of string type. So let's check once, just for example, so that you can understand. Both are type string. Then I'm going to add int A plus B. So this is what is hello world, and of course outcome, whatever is coming, that will be also be of type string. Okay, so what I can do, I can just assign another variable C and A plus B, and let's print C, and let's print type of variable C. Okay, so in interview someone is asking if you are adding two string, will it change its data type? No, if both are same type, the same data type will be produced. Okay, so this is about concatenation. Let's see how you can do repetition. Repetition is nothing but, let's say you have set up a string and one of the string you want to repeat n number of times, right? So how you can do? By using star operator. So that star is nothing but, in mathematical operation we use it for multiplication, right? So that star can be used in the string for repetition purpose. So I'll use A equal to hello space. Let's say I want to print it for 5 times. You take A and multiply by those number of times. You print it. A star 5. So here you go. You see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times hello has been repeated. So you may have this question like where exactly to use this repetition, right? So whenever you perform some kind of output formatting, or let's say you want to print some table and certain number of things to be repeated certain time, right? So that's where you will be using repetition operator, that is star. Okay, so this concatenation, repetition. Let's see indexing. So what is indexing means basically? So indexing is nothing but you have defined a character in a variable, right? So what is the position of that particular character in that variable? Okay, so that is what is indexing. So in Python, indexing always start from 0, and that will be a positive indexing from 0 to length -1. So length of the string, I'll show how to get it. So since it is starting from 0, suppose whatever is the length of the string, it will have length -1 number of characters. So let's say my Python string is having 10 characters, right? So length is 10, but indexing will start from 0 to 9. That is 0 to length -1. Length is 10. So 10 minus 1, 9. So 0 to 9 will be the indexing. Now, good thing about Python is you can do anyway, you are doing positive indexing or forward indexing, along with you can do negative indexing as well. So negative indexing always start from -1, -2, -3, and till then. Okay. So here, how many characters we have? 6. So -1 to 6, -1 to -6 is the negative indexing. Okay. So before doing indexing, I would like to show the index. So how to check that? So I'll just give the syntax here. So indexing can always be used as, let's say, variable name, then followed by square bracket. Okay, so whenever you are going to do indexing and slicing in string data type, list data type, tuple data type, or from the dictionary, we always have to use square bracket notation. Okay, and under this you put the index number. So we'll be doing a lot of example exercise here so that you can understand how exactly indexing works. Okay, and this index number should be always whatever is the length -1 number is there, 0 to length -1. If you give any number outside 0 to length -1, it is going to throw an error. So let's see what and all error it can throw so that you can understand. Okay, so here is the example. I'll just take some numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to print variable A as per this syntax. Then I'll be using square bracket, then put the index number. So let's say I don't know what index number is there. I'll just put 100. So what will happen? See here. It is giving string index out of range. Why it is giving this error? Because as I mentioned, your indexing number, this number should be between 0 to length -1. Okay. So we are just writing it blindly. So I'm just going to show you here what kind of error can be expected here. String index out of range, because it is not falling within the range. So what is the length of my string? How you can check? There is one function called length. Okay, and give the variable name. So my length of the string is 10. Okay, so I'll just mention here get number of, I just say number of items, or you can say character, or best ways to sell elements in one string. Okay, item mostly we use for dictionary, and character for string, and element in general, like you get sequence of elements, right? That's what we saw in the definition. You see here is a sequence of Unicode character or Unicode sequence of elements wrapped inside single, double, or triple quote. Okay, so our length of the string is 10. So definitely your indexing will be from 0 to 9. So definitely you are not allowed to do any indexing out of 0 to 9 numbers. Okay. So let's take another example here. I'll give any number, let's say 0. So 0 is nothing but your 0th character, right? So you got 0. If you are getting confused, I can just write A, B, C, D, D, E, F, G, H, I. So total 10 characters. So my first character, that is 0th index, is A. Let's take another example. I'll just take 1, that is B. So your number is starting from 0, that is your first character A, then 1, that is your second character B, right? and so on. So I'll just take another example. Let's say I write 5. So what is my fifth character? F. Okay. So this is about your positive indexing, that is starting from 0 to length minus 1. Now how to do negative indexing? That means accessing character from the backward side. Okay. That is also known as backward indexing. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take same example. Rather putting positive number, I'll put the negative numbers. Negative number starts from -1, right? So let's give -1. Here you give -2. Here you give -5. See what is coming here. So length of the string is 10. -1 is nothing but your last character, that is your J. -2 beside that I. -5, that is your fifth character. So -1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That is your. So that's how you do positive and negative indexing. I hope you understood. If you are having doubt, then please pause it, understand once again. Keep trying parallelly in notebook, which I always say. That's how you get hands-on. Okay, and to understand the concept better. Okay, so this was forward indexing, so I'll just put it here. And this was backward or negative indexing, so I'll just put the marking here. Okay, let's see our next component here is slicing. So guys, remember slicing is nothing but you have full string, and out of full string you are cutting the whole string, into subset or subset of character or set of characters. Okay, so let's say you are cutting from in between, right? So you will get two parts. So those two parts will be your sliced string or subset of the string. Okay, so let me take one example here. Again, I'll take number, because whenever you give indexing as 0 number to length -1, it will be easy to understand to get the similar output. Okay, later you can play with some other alphabets. So, to make understanding better, I have taken same example and the same number as indexing. Okay. Print A. Okay, so before explaining about the slicing, so let me explain few things about this. So we have certain index here. So let me talk about syntax first. Okay. So here we have variable name. You guys understand this concept very carefully, because same thing will be used for the list, for tuple. Okay. Now the first element will be your starting index. I'll just mention the start number, then followed by colon, then you have end number, start and end, from where to start and where to end, and at the end we have something called step size. Okay. Now here start, if you don't provide, by default is 0. And will be length -1 in case you don't provide. Okay, default length -1 and step size will be, by default I'll mention +1, or you can write 1 also, but I'm emphasizing plus because we have reason for this. Reason is when we talk about backward slicing, right, then you'll understand. +1. Okay, so let me just comment it. How to comment all? So those who doesn't know, then please watch my second video. So select Control A and press Control /. Okay. Now, so here let me explain about this. So variable name, the way we were doing indexing, first we'll take the variable name, then followed by square bracket notation and put the index number. That's how you do the indexing, right? Now here we are going to do slicing. So slicing means you are taking subset of the string, right? So to take subset, you have to have like from where you are going to start, or from where you are going to fetch the character, first character, then up to what character you want, then what is the step size. Okay, so let's take one example here. Print A, then I'm not going to mention anything. Okay, So my start is empty, followed by colon, end is also empty, followed by colon, and step size is also empty. What does it mean? So start, I'm not going to define, so it is going to take as 0, that is your first index. And I'm not going to define, so what it is going to take? Default length minus 1 means the last character. And step size, I'm not going to define, so by default it is going to take +1. So what will happen? It will start from 0, then +1. So index is 0, +1 is 1. So it will go to the next step. Again +1, that is 2. Next step. Again it will go up and +3, right? It will keep going till the length minus 1, that is your last character. Okay, so output of this will be the whole string as it is. Okay, I hope you got it. So just take a look here. What is my start if I don't give? What is my end if I don't give? What it will be? And step size if I don't give, it will be +1. Okay, so let's. So now this is done. Now I'll show how to put the start and end, right? So now I'm going to put start and let's say 0. Okay, and I'm not going to put. So what it will be? End will be length minus 1. And step size, I'm not going to give anything. It will be +1 by default. So it is going to start with 0 and till the end. Exactly same output. Even if you don't give 0 means it is starting as 0 only, right? Now let me give, let's say I'll give 3. So I'm going to start 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3 from here. And I'm not going to define means it will be till length minus 1. Step size again +1. Okay, you see here, starting with 3 up to 9. Let's take some more examples. I'm going to give 5 or 7. It is going to start with 7 and is not there. So of course till length minus 1 and step size is 1 by default, right? Take some more example. Let's say I'm going to give 2 and here I'm going to give 8. Okay, so what does it mean here? I'm going to start with 2 and it is going to end with 8. Okay, so 2 to 8. But remember guys, whenever you give the index for the end, right, so end will not be included. It will be always end minus 1. Okay, if index is given, then it will be excluded. Okay, so it will not be up to 8, but it will be excluded, so it will be just 8 minus 1. So total 7. So 2 to 7, always remember that. And step size I'm not going to mention, so it will be +1. So 2 to 8, you see here, you could have expected 8 also, but as I mentioned, end index will always be excluded, so it will be length minus 1. Okay, so 8 minus 1, that is 7. So 2 to 7 is there. Take some more example. Now instead of not giving index, step size, I'll give step size as 2. What does it mean? So by default it is +1 means 1, then 2, then 3 is coming, right? If I give 2 means every second character of the string will be printed right from 2, starting from 2 up to end minus 1, every second character, right? So now 2 is there, it will leave the third, it will give me 4, again it will leave fifth, and it will give me 6, and so on, right? So what will be the output? 2, 4, 6. Okay, I hope you got it. If you don't get, then let me show one more example. So I'll give 3 now. Okay, so from 2 to 8, every third character ends. So first anyway, this will be always included. So you'll get the first character, and end will be always length minus 1. And between that, whatever characters comes, every third character. Okay, see here, 2, 5, and after 5 we don't have any character, right? So that's why up to 25 it is 22 and 5. Let's take one more example. So I'm not going to give start, I'm not going to give end. I'm just taking every second character. What is this? First character, then 1 will be left, then second character, and so on, right? So here is one interview question for you guys, bonus point for you. So in interview, mostly I also take interview, right? So I ask this question without doing any mathematical option. If one series of numbers are given, right from 0 till 100, right? How you are going to print all even numbers without doing any mathematical option. So this is the shortcut solution for that question. Okay, so remember that. And if you want to get every odd number, then what you will do? I'm going to get every second, but right now I have to start from 1. because 0 is always considered as an even number, right? So then after 0 it will be coming 2 because it is skip count of 2. So I have to take from starting from 1. So now see, this is the way to get all the odd numbers from the given list. So this even number, this odd number by skip count of 2. Okay, so I hope you understood. So this is your forward slashing. Now let me show you backward slicing. I'll take the same output. Okay, so in backward slicing, what you have to, I just mentioned very similar thing. Okay, so in backward slicing, exactly same example. Only thing is, if you are giving start, anyway, it will be by default 0 and will be whatever length minus 1. And in case you are giving step size, then it has to be minus 1. Okay, so instead of mentioning all, I'll just mention step size must be mentioned as negative. And that is the catch here. Okay, so those who are very new to this programming, right, they might forget. So please try that. Try with more example, then you will understand. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just comment everything here. I'll comment one by one. So a, then 0 0 minus 1. Okay, then what I'll do, I'll just take from 0. So remember this number, guys. Let me just print this thing once again. Okay, so print a column all, then this. So whenever you are going to do negative indexing, so your number should start from -1, right? So if since -1 is the last number, you have to go this side, right? So number should be always less than -1, correct? Like if you're going forward slash, then number should always be greater than 0, correct? So if I'm going to take from -1 till end, right? So see what will be printed. Okay, so -1 is what? This one, and I have not given any end. Okay, so this will be 0. Sorry, plus step size is +1, right? So in this case, what will happen? It will be taking from 0 1 2 3 4 up to 9. Okay, so now in case if I take, let's say, -1 to -5, see what happens. -5, let me just comment this part so that you can understand. -1 is -1, this one. -1 is 9, -1, then -1 step size. Okay. So as I mentioned, whenever you do negative indexing, this has to be mentioned as negative index. Otherwise, nothing will get printed. Okay. Now let me take some more example. -1, -2, and every second step. See here. So right from -2 till end, right? So end, if you don't give, then what will happen? It will be considered as the last because Python knows you are starting from the negative index. And every second step I want, every -2, right? So you will get 8, then you get 6 4 2 0, and so on, right? So like that you can get it printed. I want you guys to put some number and just see the example. Okay, so one more example I'll show you. So sometimes this will be asked in the interview, how you reverse the string without using any function and for loop. Okay, what is the short way of doing that? So here you can do that. You can just put colon -1. See here, the whole number will get reversed. 9876543210. How it is getting reversed? See, you have not mentioned start as anything, right? End also anything. So you may think, okay, start I have not mentioned anything, then it will start from 0. But no, here you are giving negative step size as negative. So now start will be automatically get converted to -1, and then it will auto converted to the length -1. That is the last number. Okay, and negative indexing will tell, okay, it is starting from the negative side or back side. That's how you get the whole number reversed. I hope you understood backward slicing also from the forward side or the backward side. So I would suggest please pause the video, watch it again, and just give a try parallelly in your notebook. Okay, so that's all about slicing. Let's see what and all available string methods. So guys, as I mentioned in the previous video also, right, we have one function called dir, right? So I'll just take one example here. This is ICSR video. Okay, print A. Fine, we got the string. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get what and all method you can apply over the string. So let's see what and all methods available. So we have print, how to get method listed. We have one dir function and put name. Okay. So leave these parts, whatever is starting and ending with the underscore, because once you understand the class concept, it will be easy to understand. So right now, ignore this. You just take a look at all those methods here. What and all doesn't have underscore. So we have capitalize, case fold, center, count, encode, and width, expands, find, format. Format in here, we are going to see that. And lot of options are there for string formatting. Okay, so you can make it all lowercase, all uppercase. Then we have join, then split, then z fill. So I'm not going to show all the example, but most of them I'm going to cover today. Okay, so first let's take a look at how it works. So whenever you are applying any methods available for a given data type, you have to type the variable name followed by dot, then you can write the method name. So let's say I want to lowercase all the character in the given string. So all you just mention lower function. Okay, see here, everything got lowercase. This will be very helpful once you start learning natural language processing. Okay, so please remember this function. This will be very handy. If I make upper, everything will get uppercase. Correct. If you want to see what is the how this function works, right? So whenever you type opening bracket, you see this doc string is getting appeared. So this will be a functionality of a notebook which will show these detail or the documentation part. Or if you are not getting, then open bracket and press shift and tab. Shift and tab will enable or show the documents also. You see what it does? A dot upper return a copy of the string converted to uppercase. Okay. Now let me show you a couple of other functions. So let's say I want to count. So this count is nothing but, let me show what is the function. See here. This return the number of non-overlapping occurrences of substring subint start and end. Okay. So basically, idea of this method is if you want to count a character, how many times it is present in the given string, right? So you can use the count function, the count method. So let's say I want to count I. How many times it is present in the given string? So it is present 3 times. So in this we have I, then is 1 and video 1. Right? So that's how you use it. Let me show one more thing here. Okay, title. I want to make it title. So what is basically title? Return a version of the string where each word is title case. Means every single word will be having first letter as uppercase. You see here, T, then I, then P, and video. Correct? We have something called capitalize. Let's see what it does. Where is capitalize? Yeah. Let's have a look what it does. Return a capitalized version of the string means only the first letter of the given string will be capital, rest will be small. Okay, so that's how you can apply the method over a given string. So a couple of more I will show. So we have, let's say, left justified, right? So let's see how you can use it. A dot L just return left justify string of length, right? So the given string you can make left justified by giving the width. So let's say I want to give 50. So you see here, so left justified means whole string will be shifted to left, and I want to have total length as 50. So remaining character will be left as blank, and you see your final string is ending here, correct? What else you can do? And you see here by default it is filling character with space. So if you want to make 50 character and you want to fill with, let's say, hash, you just put hash here. See, the remaining character, instead of giving the hash, instead of giving space, it will add the hash or whatever character you want. Let's say I want add the rate, right? So this is Pi's CSR video, and every character will, every remaining thing will be filled as at the rate. So this is what is left justified. I want you guys to try right justified or center. Then we have is lower, is numeric. So let's say if some string is there where it is completely lower or completely upper, right? So you can use using is lower. So I'll just show an example so that you can understand. A dot is lower. So what does it mean? Why it is returning Boolean false? Because we do have uppercase later as well. Okay. So how to see true here? Let's say I give A equal to, this is ICSR. Now you see true. Of course, everything is lowercase. That's why you are getting true. Okay. So that's how you can use this upper also. Then what else? So a couple of other important things we have here is, yeah, Z fill. I will show. I think in the previous video I have shown it, but again I'm going to explain a little more. Then we have somewhere is join, correct? Join, and one more is split. Okay, so let's see join and split. It will be asked in the interview also. So I will show you split method how to use. Okay, I'll take one example here. This is another video. Okay, now split means whatever delimiter you see in the given string, right? Here delimiter means basically if what is the separator you see, right, between two words. That's what is your delimiter or separator. So you want to break the whole thing with that separator. So here I will break the whole string with the help of space. Okay, so to do that we have to use a dot split. Now you can see here the function split separator. So if you don't give anything, then what it will give? By default, it is taking as space. Okay, return a list of the words in the string using separator as the delimiter string. Okay, so it has given more data. You can just read it. Okay, so if you want to separate by space, it is exactly same. Okay, so it will separate by space, and the final outcome will be the list of all the words. So this is again very helpful once you do natural language processing, because during the pre-processing of the text, this will be used heavily. Okay. Now let me take another example here. A equal to this at the rate or hash. This is as another as video. Now there is no separator. So what it will give? Let's take a look. You got the whole string because there's no separator, there's no delimiter, right? But here I can separate the word by hash. So just identify and give the delimiter character hash. So I want to break the whole string with the help of hash. So our delimiter character will be hash. then you get the list of all the words. That's how you use split. Okay, so now coming to this join. Now you have splitted the string and you would like to join it by some other character, correct? How to do that? I'll take the same example. Let's say you have splitted it and I want to have split character stored in the C. Okay, now print C. But somehow I did not like hash. I would like to go with the dollar sign. How to join them? So again, I want to join the string, right? So where is my string? It is there under C, correct? So we can use join, sorry, C dot join with the help of what? What do you want to join and with the help of what do you want to join? So I would like to join with dollar, join all the strings available in the C and print it. See here. This dollar is dollar another dollar value, right? That's how you perform join. So guys, do some more practice by playing around the characters and some special character. Try split join, and understand how it works. So this will be very helpful in interview. So as an interviewer, I mostly concentrate on this split join and couple of other methods also. Okay. Yeah, so that's all about string methods. What else we have? Split join, yeah, zfill. Let's take a look at zfill, why it is used. So I'm going to have a equal to, let's say, hello world. Print a. Now what I want to do, I want to use zfill for a. Let's see what it does. See, pad a numeric string with zeros on the left to fill a field with the given width. Okay. So if you want to have, let's say you have set of character in a given string or set of words in a given string or sentence. So you want to maintain uniform length of the sentences. Let's say you have 5 lines of code or 5 line of paragraph, right? Each line is having different set of length, right? So each line you want to have, let's say 100 set of characters. So how you can do or how you can maintain unified length of each sentences by using zfill. Okay, so we'll use zfill. So as I mentioned, what it says needs width. So I want to maintain it by, let's say, 100. Okay, so what it does, it will maintain the length of whole string by 100 characters, and whatever number of characters are left, like it is not fulfilling the number of characters 100, it will fill with 0 on the left side. That's what it says, 0 on the left to fill a field of the given width. Okay. Similarly, I want to have, let's say, only 20 or 200 or just 20. Yeah. So if you give any number which is less than that, it is not going to fill because you already have maintained the length. So let's say I want to have z fill 2. It doesn't matter, right? It does not make any sense to use less number than the number of characters in the given string. So always use more number. Okay, so that's all about z fill. Now let's see how to do a different kind of formatting of the string. Okay, guys, so this is very helpful whenever you would like to print a lot of statement with variable number of output in the given statement, right? So I'm going to define two examples here. A equal to, let's say I have Pankaj, B equal to ICSR, right? Int A, int B. So let's see how to use it. I would like to print Pankaj and PyCSR in a single statement, right? So let's see print how you can do that manually in case you are not aware of string formatting. Mostly a normal person or newbie, this is what they are going to do. A, then plus So A is preparing, then B, then plus, then video. Correct? See here, Pankaj is preparing Pi CSR video. I can just give one space. So see, you need to have, look back and forth and understand how it is going to be printed. Correct? So to avoid this kind of issue and cumbersome job, you have formatting by using curly braces. Okay. So let's see how you can achieve same thing by using curly braces. So what I will do, I'll just use print. You just write this. Video and followed by format. So under format, what you have to use, how many times you have used curly braces, same number of variable to be used. So I have used 2 times, of course, 2 variable I'm going to print, right? I'll just use A and B. See, Pankaj is preparing ICSR video. That's how you use curly braces. Okay. Now remember, guys, in format, whatever indexing you have used or whatever order you have used, same order it will be printed. So A will go to the first curly bracket and B will go to the second curly bracket, opening and closing. Okay. So now assume that you would like to print Pi CSR first and Pankaj's second video. How will you do that? So one way to do is you just enter here in a different way. Pi CSR is preparing Pankaj video, right? So this is one way to do that, or it doesn't look good, right? Because you have to change the order. So what the best way is, or optimized way is, use same order B here, but here you can alter the indexing. So in the curly braces, you can use the indexing also. Indexing of what? Inside format, whatever you use. So A will be your first index, that is 0th index, and B will be your first index, right? So I can use 0 and I can use 1 here. Okay. Now you can just use 1 and just toggle the number here. That's all. That's how you use numbering in the indexing. So this is with the indexing. Now let's see how to use exclamation R and exclamation S. So here we have something called, so again I'll be using A and B. So what you can do, so exclamation R is used basically a raw format. So an exclamation S will be the string as it is. Okay, and here you can use A and B. See here. So in all the output, you will see apostrophe is not mentioned for any of the string whatever is printed. But if you would like to print, then use raw format, that is exclamation R. And string is nothing but the way you have used earlier. Even if you don't mention, it will be same output. Okay. So let me just remove it. That's how we use it for string formatting. Now let's see how to do using left and right center justification. Okay. So what I will do, I'll take similar example. A equal to CSR. I'll just leave the space also. Print. Now let's see how you can do the justification by using left, right, and center. So you can use print, then of course in the bracket, then this, then curly braces, ICSR. So for justification, we have to use colon, then we have left, then we have what and all number you want to use. Let's say I want to left justify by 20 character, right? Then dot format, then what I want to print A. Okay. You see here, this is 20 character, not just by CSR. It's to double click, then you see the total length. Okay. Now, how to do that right? Then it will be right side. Similarly, you can have center. So for center, use caret. Okay. Now you can see left, right side, and the center. So here you are not able to identify because it is not padded with any character, right? So similar example you can see with the help of padding. So by using this, so I'll just use some padding. So I want to have left character padded with hash. See here. I want to have right character padded with dollar. I want to have all the remaining left and right side to be padded with @ See here. It's very nice formatting. This is one of the preferred way of formatting the output using this method. Okay, so please remember that, do some more practice, then you'll understand. And this will be heavily used if you are creating a lot of output formatting related stuff. Okay, so we have something called number formatting, right? I just mentioned here. Number formatting to binary, then opt, octa or hex. Okay, let's see how to do that. So if I take one example, let's say 230 a number, or maybe 20 a number, how you can format in a different binary form, different number format. Okay, so you can use in column. B is for binary. Okay. Print. Here I use B format. Okay, so this is the binary of A. Now, if I have to identify this is really a binary format, so what you can do, just put hash. So it will append 0B. That is the denotation of the binary format. Okay, similarly, you can get the octa. So I can put O, that is for octa format. Similarly, I can use hex. So hash input hex, that is X, 0 plus 14. So that's how we do number formatting using this B, O, and X. Okay, so guys, that's all about string. I hope you liked it, and you would have definitely enjoyed it, because a lot of internal detail I'm explaining in a very minute detail. Okay, and these kind of interview questions can be asked. What is multi-line comment? How do you define and where to use? So I have already shown triple quote. Can we alter characters to a defined string? No, because string is an immutable data type. String is mutable or immutable? Of course, it is immutable. How do you print all characters in reverse order of a given string? Using square bracket, colon, colon, -1. That is the reverse slicing. Okay. What is split and join method and how to use them? I have already given the example. So I would say just go to that particular section and pause the video again and just give a try in parallel in your notebook. Okay. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed. Please do like my video and subscribe the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.